Hello there, this is Garrett Palmer from the Autism News Network, and today I have a very, very special interview. If you couldn't tell, I am today interviewing the man, the myth, the legend himself, Santa Claus.
Oh,
Good morning.
good morning.
So I have a few questions. So first up, what is the naughty list policy on autistics who have meltdowns even though they don't mean to misbehave?
The naughty list does not take into account autistic individuals who have meltdowns because it's really a nature of their condition and they're working to have more good days. So we count them on the nice list.
Oh, good. That's very good. I'm glad to hear that. Many people have made origins for you, including in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Klaus, and Marvel superhero Avengers Frostbite. But I consider myself a seeker of the truth. What is your true origin?
I was born in Germany long, long ago, and now I make my residence in the North Pole at the very top of our world.
I see. Short, sweet, and to the point. Okay, so...
Have you been to the North Pole?
Sadly, no.
Well, you'll have to come up and have a cup of cocoa with me and Mrs. Claus someday.
I'll bear that in mind.
I'll check my calendar. I may have some availability starting on December 26th.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. So, what do you do after Christmas?
After Christmas, I put my feet up beside the fire. I have a lovely pet reindeer named Rudolph, and he'll go fetch my slippers, and I settle in for a long winter's rest.
Okay. So, speaking of, what is Rudolph's favorite food?
Rudolph's favorite food is, wait for it, carrots. Do you leave carrots out for Rudolph?
Oh, no, I don't think we've ever done that. Maybe we could start.
Well, you should, and he eats non-organic or organic carrots. It doesn't matter.
Okey doke. How much of the toys do you make versus outsource to other companies?
We make all of our toys exclusively at the North Pole, handmade by my absolute wonderful, wonderful army of elves at the North Pole.
Okay.
I am in the delivery business as well as the toy-making business, so I'm just trying to make sure that all the good little boys and girls receive their presents on Christmas morning.
Okay, doke. So, here's another interesting one. How are you immortal?
I'm not sure I'm allowed to answer that. Christmas spirit would be the short answer.
I see. So, another one. Where do your elves come from?
My elves originate all born and raised in the North Pole.
Okay. So, speaking of, what is the North Pole like?
The North Pole is very cold. It's very windy. It's also very beautiful. And in the summers, we have light 24 hours a day for just a few weeks.
Describe a typical day at the North Pole.
I begin my day with a very big and hot glass of chocolate, delicious chocolate cocoa. And then I move my way right into the workshop where I meet with all of the elves who are designing and manufacturing toys. And I check on my sled to make sure it's in tip-top shape, ready for my big journey on the night of December 24th, Christmas Eve.
Oh. Okay, so, last question. Are there any celebrities among your elves besides yourself?
Well, you know Buddy the Elf, right?
Yes, I've heard of him. A human raised by elves.
He's probably my most famous elf. And then there was the elf, Bob Newhart, has become an elf. And he was formerly in Hollywood, but now he's an elf.
That one I'm not familiar with.
Yep, absolutely true.
Has there been a movie about him?
Yes, the movie Elf. That was one of my most recent films.
Oh, okay. I thought that was fiction. I didn't know he was real.
Absolutely real.
Well, you learn something new every day. Well, that seems to be all the questions I have, but before we end, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I'd like to say to Garrett and all the other boys and girls out there, you are welcome to come to the North Pole. We can hang out and eat sugar plums. Oh, thank you, Garrett.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Autism News Network, and we will see you on the next one.